أريد مثلا أي شيء طيارة هاي الطيارة من هاي مثلا أي طيارة هاي طيارة الرفع بالسماء تتنزل مثلا أي طيارة أخذ.
Little Ibrahim here wanted a drone. Thanks to make the world come true and your donations, we got him a drone.
This Eid, let's show orphans that they are not alone. Your contribution can help us provide them with love, care, and a memorable celebration.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and welcome to Ahkam SOS, the show that discusses Islamic duties and practices. This is a live show. We do take in all of your questions. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask, please send them in via the WhatsApp. The number should be there below. You can send them on the comment section if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live, and inshallah we'll be more than happy to answer your inquiries. I'm your host, Mohsin Shah, and joining me is Sheikh Ali. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sayyidina wa sallam. Eid Mubarak, inshallah.
Eid Mubarak to you too, Sheikhna. I hope you had a very pleasant Eid this weekend.
Alhamdulillah, great. Alhamdulillah.
Fantastic. Sheikhna, it's been a while. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much, and we'd like to congratulate Muthanna because believe it or not, he's actually getting married right now over the next 2 weeks or so. Hence why he couldn't be here today. And I am covering. Sheikhna, with your permission, shall we begin?
Inshallah.
First question coming in from YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Sometimes when I perform sujood, my forehead touches the turba and then bounces slightly, causing my forehead to touch it a second time. Does this count as one sujood or two? Is my sujood still valid?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. If you can control this bouncing of your head on the muhr, on the turba, you have to hold it, and then that's counted as the first sajda, and then you go back for the second sujood to be counted as second sajda. So if you can control it, you cannot do more sajda. So that's the issue. It's counted one because it was out of your control to bounce it.
What can someone do, Sheikh, to stop? I mean, if your head is bouncing on the turba, you're probably a little bit off balance. You know, when going into sujood, we have the 7 points we have to touch: the forehead,
exactly, yeah.
the palms, the knees, the bottom of the big toes. Yeah. So, what can one do? Just try and balance properly, or distribute their weight evenly?
Well, it happens. Something is out of your control. It happens sometimes.
Sometimes it slips.
Yeah, it happens, yeah. It's something normal.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a problem.
From WhatsApp, I beg your pardon. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Assalam.
In the Quran, where it talks about the scales on the Day of Judgment, specifically when our deeds are weighed in the scale, is this an actual scale where deeds are physically weighed?
There's different tafsir with this regard. If you go back to tafsir of the ulama, in overall different methods mentioned, but it seems to be the amal itself is the mizan, the amal. وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ. So your amal, your deed is the mizan. So if it's the size of an atom, then you get, if it's khair, then you get the reward.
Inshallah.
And if it's na'udhu billah shar, you get the punishment. Na'udhu billah. So it's the amal itself.
Okay. From YouTube, when does the Isha prayer become qadha, missed? Is it qadha time valid until Fajr? With Isha, Sheikhna, I think it's slightly different. You have until midnight and then it becomes something else before the Fajr adhan, no?
No, both Salah, Maghrib and Isha, up to midnight.
Okay.
That's the max time, yeah.
Fair enough. From YouTube, does anyone non-Sayyid can marry a Sayyid? Okay, so Sheikhna, we do understand the sensitivity of the question. And we do, in a way, support those who have, they want to marry their daughters where they want to marry their daughters. We respect that. But from a fiqhi perspective, can a non-Sayyid marry a Sayyid?
Before the fiqhi issue, we go back to the famous hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said that the one who comes and asks the hand of your daughter and he has akhlaq and deen, religion and morality, then marry him. So it hasn't been mentioned that if they are Sayyid or non-Sayyid, in other words. So we go back to the Sunnah of Rasulullah. The Sunnah says that anyone who comes forward, asks the hand of your daughter, then if they have akhlaq and deen, then marry him. So this could be a tradition, maybe back in Pakistan, other places, and the Far East. So, but fiqhi-wise, there's no issue with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. What's the Shia opinion of Ibn Baz? Is he a good companion, or do we look at him with skepticism? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you.
I mean, which Ibn Baz is he? Is he the one who died recently in Saudi and he is a Wahhabi Imam? Or is he like a Sahabi in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or the Imams of Ahlul Bayt? So it depends.
No, so we're not sure in particular. Is that companion? I'm assuming.
I haven't heard somebody called Ibn Baz.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair. Maybe we can come back to that at another time. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna.
As-salam.
How do Shia scholars understand the Hadith? My ummah will never agree upon an error which we use to defend Sunni consensus.
I think it's لا تجتمع أمتي على خطأ. Now, we have to see the context of the Hadith. Does it say ummati? Does it mean, for example, the Ma'asumin alayhim salam, or anyone, any alim who comes forward? And we see that how much, even within our ulama, made mistakes in their fiqh perspectives.
But Shaykhna, I mean, this hadith, my ummah will never agree upon an error. I mean, is that a Shia hadith?
That's the first point I'm saying. That if it's to do with, if the hadith was authentic
within our circles, within
exactly, our books. Then it should point towards the Imam of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, that they wouldn't make mistakes with regards to any issues of fiqh or belief and so forth. So yes, initially, as you've said, we have to define if it's a Shia hadith or non-Shia hadith. Non-Shia hadith, it's not a hujjah upon us. Shia hadith, we have to look into the chain of narrators, authenticity, and then we have to discuss if it's a correct hadith. Then we can discuss. Yes. If it's about not making mistake, then that's a hadith for Ahlul Bayt Salamun alayhim. The famous hadith that you won't go astray if you follow Ahlul Bayt Salamun alayhim. So it means they are ma'asumeen.
Yes. So
if you take from them, they would never make mistake, and they would take it towards the path of haqq and straight path.
Inshallah. Quick reminder to our viewers that this is a live show. We do take in all your live questions. If you have a question you want to ask, then send it via the WhatsApp number there below. If you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you can send it in the comment section. If you want to give us a call live in the studio, 0203-515-0199, we'll get you direct to the studio, and inshallah the Sheikh will be able to answer your questions. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Can you suggest some du'as or names of Allah by which our prayers would definitely be answered?
So du'as with names of Allah Azza wa Jal?
Du'a or names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
I mean, you can go back to the Du'a Jawshan al-Kabir and pick some of these ad'iyah. Beautiful lines of du'a which mentions the names of Allah Azza wa Jal. سبحانك يا لا إله إلا أنت الغوث خلصنا من النار يا رب.
Yes.
So mentions about I don't know how many names of Allah Azza wa Jal in that holy dua, the Jawshan.
Yes. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. How many days to make up for intentionally breaking the fast during Ramadan? Shaykhna, we've had this question before. If my memory serves me correctly, 60 days for one day of Ramadan, 30 consecutive, and 30 when you can make up and so forth.
If somebody breaks his fast intentionally in the day of the month of Ramadan, then they have two options. Either to fast 2 months, as you mentioned. The first month you fast 30 days, and then to connect it with the next month, you have to fast as well, another additional day, which is 31 days.
Okay.
To connect it to the next month.
Yes.
And then the next month, after 31 days, you can break it into whatever days
As you
want.
please.
Yeah.
When I just tell
So
you.
that's how it works. Second kafara option is to feed 60 people.
Yeah.
إطعام 60 مسكين. To feed them. So yes, two options for those who intend to break the fast.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna. Can we
Assalam.
repeat surah during namaz? I'm not sure what
If
surah
you,
they're
if
talking
you did
about.
a mistake, for example, you can go back and repeat it, that's fine.
Fair. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna.
Assalam.
How do we interpret Quranic verses we use to support the righteousness of all the Sahaba, such as Surah Tawbah, verse 100, and Surah 48, verse 29?
So what is the surah? mentioned
Do you want me to get it out for
exactly?
you?
If you have time. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we've got plenty of time, Shaykhna. Just bear with me.
So you can repeat, please.
So they're saying that there are certain Quranic ayat in regards to the Sahaba. And how do we refute them? Because it talks about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiving them and so forth. So this is number 100, which is over here. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Oh, with Surah Tawbah, do we say Bismillah? We say A'udhu billahi minash
there's no
shaitanir rajim. There's
tawbah. Bismillah and tawbah, yeah.
Okay. والسابقون الأولون من
مهاجرون
المهاجرين
Okay, that's
والأنصار
fine.
والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم
الذين اتبعوهم بإحسان. الذين. Not everyone. Those who
Okay.
did well, followed on the right path. Be careful, many of them. So الذين, this is important. That's the key word.
Yeah.
And not just everyone, even if those who came to Siffin or Jamal and killed each other. So in this case, you have to say Muawiyah radiallahu anhu and Ali radiallahu anhu, which doesn't
make
match
sense.
at all.
What about the other surah? I think it was 48:29. I've got it here. It's Al-Fat 29. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Muhammadur Rasulullah.
That's the one I quoted, exactly.
Oh, okay, this one. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and those who are with him are severe against disbelievers and merciful among themselves.
Exactly.
You see them bowing in front
رحماء بينهم.
and the bounty of Allah and God's pleasure.
Exactly.
The mark of them on their face is of their
Exactly.
foreheads and their traces of their prostration. They are this is the description in the Torah. And so
وعد
forth.
الله
Yeah.
الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات منهم. Don't forget the minhum.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Of
key word.
them.
Of them, some of them,
Yeah,
not all the
not all of
Sahaba.
them.
Otherwise, it's going to conflict with the reality on the ground. They killed each other. The Sahaba killed each other in the battle of Siffin, Nahrawan, and Jamal.
Yes.
It doesn't work.
Yes.
You have to use the intellect, aql.
Correct. But then, Shaykhna, they will turn around and say, well, we leave it up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we don't get involved. So, are we to get involved and say, no, there are certain criteria, certain actions that were done, certain acts committed against the Ahlul Bayt that we have to speak up. We can't leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to reveal the truth. What do you think, Shaykhna?
The problem is, who am I going to get the aqidah from? My belief. If we leave it to Allah Azza wa Jal, then we leave the whole religion to Allah. We just worship Allah, a creator, that's it. Why should I pray in this way, take my hadith from this individual, from that individual? I just leave all to Allah Azza wa Jal and I rest assured and enjoy my life and pray as the way I like, for example. Allah wants us to follow His aqidah in the way that He wants, not the way I want. This is important. To worship the way He wants, not I want. The problem with Satan, Iblis, he refused that sajda to Adam.
Yes.
That's the problem. So we shouldn't repeat the same mistake of Iblis. La'anahu Allah.
Ahsantum, Shaykh. That was beautifully put. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna.
Assalam.
Why does ghusl janaba become obligatory after ejaculation, whether it happens while sleeping or awake, whether through a forbidden act or a lawful one? So why is it with the janaba? Why do we have to do the ghusl? What is it about the act that makes us impure, I guess?
Based on narrations, we follow the narrations with the dalil. So the hadith and the sunnah, that's our evidence.
Okay.
If Salat Subh is 2, why not 3? Why not 1? Why not 4?
There's
Salat,
philosophy
the Fajr
behind,
one,
yeah.
yeah. Sometimes we have, they give the reason for it, the cause for it. Sometimes they won't.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna. Why do Shia scholars consider the concept of imama as essential, while Sunnis reply on the caliphate or general leadership?
Because the imama has been emphasized in the Holy Quran and in the narrations of Ahlul Bayt and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The famous hadith they have that the Khulafa after me are 12, كلهم من قريش,
Yeah.
from Quraysh. So, and then the Quran states that I appoint the Khalifa, إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة, and إني جاعلك للناس إماما. So this concept of Khalif and Imam is Quranic and Sunnah and Hadith wise. So you cannot negate it and ignore it at all.
Okay. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna. I want to know that for why would Shia people sacrifice to uncircumcised animals? What's the possible reason behind this? Can anyone explain? Okay, we don't understand your question and it's a bit vague. So can you please be a bit more detailed? Uncircumcised animals, I don't know what the hell you're talking about there, my friend. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna. I read somewhere that in case of women's menses ends after midnight and before Fajr, she is allowed to pray Maghrib and Isha after ghusl without qadha. Is that true? Furthermore, is she required to pray Maghrib and Isha since her menses ended after midnight?
Yes, indeed. Those who have reason, udhr, then yes, of course, won't be qadha for the Maghrib and Isha. They can pray in the middle of the night. That's fine, without qadha, intention.
Fine. Shaykhna, I'd like to give the opportunity to yourself. I know you like to discuss certain hadith from the thing, so please.
Yes, indeed, as we approach towards the Ghadir event, Eid al-Ghadir, there's a verse in Surah Yasin where Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam in Kitab al-Kafi, he gives a tafsir of this verse. So we take our tafsir from Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. In Surah Yasin, لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون. Imam al-Sadiq salam, as a tafsir, he says, لقد حق القول على أكثرهم. Then the Imam mentions his statement as tafsir. فهم لا يقرون بولاية أمير المؤمنين والأئمة بعده سلام الله عليهم. That the qawl has been mentioned, Allah's verses, Allah's statement has been mentioned on them, the hujjah, to follow the right path, who is Amir al-Mu'min alayhi salam, and his sons and grandsons who are also the Imam of Ahlul Bayt. So that qawl has been established that they have to follow the rightly guided Khalifa of Rasulullah. Begins with Ali alayhi salam and ends with Mahdi salamullah and Ajal Farajuh Sharif. Then the Imam says, for the second part of the verse, فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The Imam gives the meaning or the tafsir of this, the latter of the verse. فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The Imam says, بِإِمَامَةِ أَمِيرِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامِ وَالْأَوْصِيَاءِ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ. That they won't believe, although they saw the qawl of Allah Azza wa Jal, the haqq, but they are stubborn and they won't believe in the Imam of Ali alayhi salam.
Wow.
And his awsiya, the Imam is after him. So although that the qawl has been stated, they've realized the truth, the reality. They saw the Ghadir Khum, over 100,000 Sahabi. But as soon the Prophet died and passed away, or became shaheed, martyred, as mentioned, فَإِمَّاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ, rather he was killed as shaheed, they turned against the Prophet's household and the use of the Khilafah. فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. And today, the misery of the world, the masa'ib, is because of negating and neglecting and ignoring Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim.
Ahsan Shaykhna. If you'd like to send in your questions, the phone lines are open, 0203-515-0199. The WhatsApp number is there below, you can send it there. Or if you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you can put your questions in the comment section. Shaykhna, I've got loads of more questions coming in, and next one is, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna, Eid Mubarak to you, may Allah bless you. My question is pouring water at the grave after a funeral and when visiting. What is the reason behind this?
It seems to be there's a narration to something. I haven't seen the narration, but it seems to be there is something behind it. So it's not something out of nothing. So I'm sure there's something mentioned. I haven't read it, but I've seen it. Some ulama even do it.
Yeah.
So
I think there's something about washing the grave, cleaning the grave, making making it neat and tidy and so forth. There's something along them lines. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it permissible for a Shia to ask Jesus directly to cure them and to pray to him for their du'as directly?
you can. There's no issue with it. I think I've answered this question last week. So there's no issue with it. Awliya as-salihin, your parents, you ask your parents who have passed away, for example. There's no issue with it. Yeah.
Fantastic. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is vaping permissible for beginners to prevent ourselves from smoking according to His Eminence, the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi?
There's no forbiddenness with regards to smoking, even to start smoking.
With Sayyid Sadiq?
Yes, there's no issue with it. But maybe there could be, in some cases, makruh or discouraged.
I mean,
it depends really.
It can be unhealthy for certain people and so forth. And it is a habit that should be stayed away from if possible. But however, when it comes to Islamic fiqh, according to His Eminence Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi, it is not haram. From YouTube, is khums wajib on me if I am financially dependent on my parents and I do not have my own income?
If they pay the khums, then no, that's it.
Okay.
They've done the job, so that's fine.
But Sheikh, sometimes there's khums on perfume, clothes, things like that I haven't used. So let's say I got a gift. My parents gave me a gift. I've got perfumes, I've got clothes, I've got, I don't know, a paint or something, and I haven't used it. Then do I have to pay khums on it? But I'm not earning money neither. I'm still dependent upon my parents.
Well, if you set a date around the year, let's say 1st of the month Ramadan, I don't know, 10th of Rabi' al-Awwal as your annual khums day, then of course, in this case, when it comes on that day, you have to calculate how much you got leftover money in savings, for example, in your pocket. As you said, gifts, for example. And then you pay khums on whatever you haven't used or you haven't spent. That surplus you pay for khums, so that's 1/5.
Okay. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it true that Yazid, La'natullah alayhi, told a Christian painter to paint the head of Imam Hussein and then killed the painter and kept the painting? Right now, it is in the France Museum and a copy of that is kept in Hanana Mosque.
I'm not sure about this incident. One should investigate and find out.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. And Shahsab, alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Is it considered asraf to buy expensive mobile phones?
What is mentioned is your sha'n. It means something that you are capable of. You know, I'm capable of buying a car which worth maximum £20,000, but to buy like a Lamborghini for
150, 250.
250, for example, that's not my sha'n, which means I have to pay the excess as khumus.
Oh,
that's the issue. Yeah,
okay.
It's not my sha'n, it's not my capability and ability.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Do you believe Sunni collections preserved some authentic teachings of the Prophet? And if so, how can Shia Muslims engage with them? Do you believe Sunni collections preserved? I'm not sure if they're talking about hadith or they're talking about ornaments and artifacts. So you need to be a bit more concise. But yeah, Sheikhna, let's call it hadith. Do you believe Sunni hadith collections preserve some authentic teachings of the Prophet? And so, how can Shia Muslims engage with them?
Yes, we use a lot of these hadith in Bukhari, Muslim and others to refute the other side when they discuss about the Sahaba's justiceness and adala and so forth.
Yeah, also the ma'arif.
So yes, some hadith that we mentioned, they have as well in their books. So it could be, I mean, some of them in line with our hadith with this regard.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. What is the Shia opinion of Ibn Abbas? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Sheikh. Now, Ibn Abbas was a student of Amir al-Mu'mineen, no?
Yes.
So he's his cousin? He's a family member?
Yeah, Abbas was
the uncle.
Uncle Prophet. So they have some kind of...
And Ibn Abbas was a student of Rasulullah, Amir al-Mu'mineen?
Yeah, he was a narrator of the hadith.
There's a tafsir by him, no?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think Ibn Abbas also has a tafsir. somewhere. Okay, from WhatsApp. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Can we pray 5 times a day instead of 3 times? As I heard that Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam said that their followers would pray 5 times a day. If yes, how do I know when the Asr and Isha time starts?
According to Ahlul Bayt, it's better to join
Combine?
the Salah. Even Ahlul Sunnah narrate that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he
Sallallahu
later
alayhi wa
joined between the Salah, Maghrib
Yeah,
and Isha, Dhuhr
and,
and Asr,
there was no rain,
without
there was no
any reason.
travelling, Yeah.
So we follow the Sunnah of Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt with this regard, inshallah.
I heard also, Shaykhna, that the time between Dhuhr and Asr is 4 rak'ah. So, I beg your pardon. So, it is the time for Dhuhr. You pray your Dhuhr, which is 4 rak'ah.
Yes.
When that is finished, it is now time for Asr.
Exactly.
You can pray Asr now. And the same between Maghrib and Isha is 3 rak'ah. Because the brother sister here was asking about the actual timings. I think this is from WhatsApp, I'm not sure. Oh, YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna.
Salam.
Is mut'a still encouraged in today's society, even though many people have a negative view of it?
You see, marriage is marriage. Now, be it a short or long term. Yes, anyone can misuse and abuse the marriage and the divorce. Somebody can in somehow abuse the long-term marriage, the actual marriage. So marry and divorce, marry and divorce. Anything can be abused and in a bad way. So even such marriages could be also abused and used in the wrong way. So if one is needed, why not? This is Sunnat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Quran mentions about this type of marriage, the short-term marriage, and of course the encouragement about the long-term marriage. Even if you go to the ulama, they would encourage you to marry and establish a family. And we have the narrations that one of the best establishments in Islam is to establish a family life, a wife with kids, and for long term, inshallah.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Calling a Sadat a word Sayyid is an innovation, and it was not in the era of the Imams alayhi salam. Is this true?
They have to bring evidence that this is something.
We have in our ziyarah, Sayyidi wa Mawlai. And
Yeah, they have to bring evidence. When you mention something, then you have to bring evidence that this is not part of the.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Respected Sayyid and Shaykh. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Why is it the case that historically khums on general wealth cannot be found on any historical record prior to the isolated Shia records from the 6th Imam?
The Imams, al-Baqir and Sadiq alayhim salam, were the ones who were able to spread the knowledge of Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam.
Yes.
Before that, for 100 years, the narration of hadith was banned, was a crime. If you narrate from Rasulullah hadith, will be punished.
Killed, yeah.
So when the Imams came, they started to spread the knowledge of Rasulullah, and part of it was the issue of khums, to give khums. And khums wasn't only based on the war spoils and
the booty.
It's to do with ghanimtum, whatever you gain as profits from business, as salary, as wages.
Surplus,
ahsant. So when they came, they explained more, elaborated that this is not just for the war, but it's actually for anything you gain. Ghanimtum means you gain. One of them is, of course, the war booty and so forth. Yeah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Is it true that Imam Sajjad wept tears of blood for 40 years, where people in my region say this?
I mean, what we have in, I think, Ziyat al-Nahiya, that Imam al-Hujjah salamullah alayhi,
I will rain
who would
blood,
cry blood day and night.
Day and night.
لا بكينا لك صباحا ومساء. So Daman mentions that.
And I think what they need to understand is, what does it mean that you cry blood? It's the fact that you have cried so much that there's no more tears left. So the blood starts to come out instead of tears. That you've exhausted all of your tears. You've used them all up, so forth. Not the case of like something else. Some people take it towards. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. What do you do if you accidentally see kissing with knowing it's coming? I think movie scenes. Okay, So if you are watching a film or a drama and you can see that a kissing scene is coming, is it okay to watch, or should I change the channel? Should I close my eyes? What should I do?
The Quran is very clear. The Holy Quran says to lower your gaze and tell the believing men to lower their gaze. And the same applies to the woman as well. To lower your gaze. That's it.
From YouTube, good question. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna.
Assalam.
Can we befriend Ismailis who dislike Imam Qadim? Shaykhna, we have certain Shi'i, we can call them sort of Shi'i because they follow Amir al-Mu'mineen, but they don't go past Imam Sadiq, they don't go to Imam Musa al-Qadim and furthermore. So, the Boras, the Zaydis, the Ismailis, are we allowed to befriend them? Can we even pray behind them?
No, I would even encourage some people who speak the language to go and talk to them. May Allah guide them towards the right path. Why do you stop on Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam? Or why do you stop on Zayd, Imam after Imam Hussein salamullah alayhi? And why didn't you go back to the rest of the A'immah?
You got half of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, why don't we have some people to go?
50% was right, 50%
I mean, we have lots of people who debate with Ahl Sunnah. Lots in all languages, alhamdulillah. In English, Arabic, Farsi. They debate with Ahl Sunnah and many were converted. But the Zaydis and Ismailis are left behind and alone. We need some people who can speak the language to go and debate with them. Open some kind of a channel and talk to them. Let them come in and speak.
No
Why do you stop Imam Sadiq alayhi salam? Why up to Zayd, for example?
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Hazrat Abbas Abu Fadil alayhi salam, is he ma'soom? Yes, but not the same ma'soomiyah as the 14 ma'soomiyah. Say we'd say the Zainab salam alayha.
Yes, indeed.
Some even say Salman Farsi, that they have a level of ma'soomiyah, but it's not the same as the 14 infallibles and so forth. WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Is it permissible to play checkers, drafts, black and red grid with the small cookies and you jump over each other?
I'm not sure if it's like a backgammon.
Nah.
It's different.
It looks like a chessboard, but there's small cookies on it and you just move forward and then you hop over one another to
I'm not sure. If it's a original gambling game, it's not permissible.
I don't think it is.
Yes.
I think it's all right. I haven't heard anything about that. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh, from YouTube. I want to start a YouTube channel going to the streets and prisons, etc., to teach the true religion of Islam. How can I start to gain knowledge?
By reading books and the like of Ahkam books, Hadith Ahl Bayt. That's how it works. Reading books from different perspectives, history, religion, fiqh-wise, hadith-wise.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Can you explain how Adam didn't sin?
You see, the question is, if he did sin, then he shouldn't be a prophet. And any prophet commits one single sin, he is not liable for being a prophet. A prophet means ma'soom, infallible.
Yes.
So if he did the sin, he's not a prophet at all. That's it. That's the question and the answer.
Fair. Shaykhna, we just got some questions. We'll go through them quickly. There's only 3 of them left. I'll help you, don't worry.
Sure.
So from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. I am Shia and we should respect all Muslims. Fantastic, that's good for you. Just one question. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykhna. Watching pornography is lesser sin than self-stimulation, and why masturbation is haram and doing it is gunnah kabira. Okay. So why is the masturbation more severe than watching indecent things? Because
you're using the wrong channel and path and way to pleasure yourself. Allah gave you the proper way, which is marriage with the opposite gender, to use it. It's like drugs. You want to feel better. No, that's the wrong way. You have to use the right channels and route to pleasure yourself.
Yes. Thank you very much, Shaykhna, and thank you to all of viewers for joining us on this episode of Ahkam SOS. If I didn't ask your question, I do apologize. We had loads of questions coming in. But inshallah, join us again on Thursday, where Sayyid Muthanna will be back with the Sayyid. And inshallah, you can ask your questions then. In the meantime, please keep watching and supporting Imam Hussein TV 3. And if you do have a question, just send it into the WhatsApp and we will definitely put it on our show. And if you would like to you can carry on watching all of the different programs that we have on Imam Hussein TV. You can watch it on the Instagram, on the YouTube channel, whether that is Ahkam SOS or whether you're watching 7 Steps to Heaven or the Shia Voice or the brand new podcast, the Shia Vibes, which I'm on as well. You guys are more than welcome to join us. And inshallah, give us a like, a share, and your feedback as well in the comment section. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
السلام عليكم، اسمي رفع العايد، عمري 6 سنين. أنا مشتاقة لبابا. بابا مات كان عمري من نص صغيرة. أنا أريد بالعيد لعابي. اسمي عايدة ولا 4. أتمنى بابا يموت. بابا ميت. أحب للعيد أدي لعابي.
Sisters Ruffle and Russell wanted dolls for their dua to come true. Thanks to your donations, we made that happen.
Let's spread joy this Eid by giving gifts to orphans. Your donation can make a child's dream come true.
Sayyid, you ate before the adhan? Do you know if your fast was valid?